Very, if you consume a kilo, geez, sitting a carb count at least. Nah. Depends on what your gut microbiome's like, whether you could get an effective, a certain level of constipation. Some people are more prone to it, but it depends again, as I said, if you're missing certain bacteria like Bifido infantis, a number of the Reuteri and Rhamnosus and many of the others are the lactobacillus types. If you're missing those, there's a high propensity of getting sort of constipation. So it really depends. There's plenty of people that consume. I don't know of many people that have consumed a kilo of cheese, but there are many people that do consume quite a lot of cheese and don't have this problem. So, but some people, even with small amounts, can actually be constipated. And for those people that tend to be also have, and it's usually a gut microbiome problem, because usually they go from diarrhea. Like I had one person who, she basically started taking Reuteri, which is and she had severe diarrhea, and then she swung over to basically constipation the moment because she was consuming some cheese, not a lot, some cheese, but she was still basically was missing there were certain pathogenic bacteria that were causing her diarrhea for about 2 years. So it was quite bad. And then once she took the Reuteri, which I talk about in some of my videos, it's the one on iHerb, which is the Swedish one, the BioGaia. So BioGaia. And yeah, she went the other way because she was missing a number of these key bacterial strains that prevent this from happening. So she had to ease off the cheese and then get a whole lot of other lactobacillus strains. We went through a whole list. She found a couple of others, asked me about them, and I said they're fine. And then she basically repopulated her gut with a lot of these lactobacillus, which are easily annihilated by glyphosate, which is antibiotic mimicking, and antibiotics. And she had done a lot of antibiotics throughout her life. So once we actually restored these bacteria back in, the constipation went away. Things normalized. So it's not the actual food, it's even when you rebalance to some extent, if you're missing a number of bacterial strains, and when it comes to infantis, Reuteri, Rhamnosus, and a couple of others, in the US, for instance, it's something like, it's estimated. I don't know how they estimated it. They estimated it based on medical files, but they estimated that something like 90% of the US population, at least those in the medical system, are quite deficient in a number of these bacterial strains that usually we would get at birth when you come out the birth canal. So because of antibiotics, and I suspect also from glyphosate exposure, we've annihilated a lot of these and created a lot of these problems. So taurine helps in re-regulating and remodulating the gut motility, the gut microbiome and stuff like that. But sometimes if you're missing specific strains, you may not be able to handle well certain foods until you restore those strains. So, and if you find yourself in that sort of position, drop me an email, and at some stage I'll have to sit down and actually make a video, as simple as that, on this sort of stuff about the different bacterial strains that we need.